How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about what you just saw, which was part of a larger protest against a so-called anti-trans speaker by the name of Jeffrey Younger at the University of North Texas at Denton. Yes, I said Texas. That whole fiasco right there happened in the great state of Texas, the big red state. Will it be red forever? Well, judging by that video, I can't tell, but I digress. Now, that name may sound familiar to you. If you've been on the channel for a while, Jeff Younger, that may ring a bell. If it doesn't ring a bell or you're kind of new to the channel and you're wondering, well, who is Jeffrey Younger and why are they calling him anti-trans and why are they protesting? Well, great questions. Glad you asked. Let's back up a little bit to 2019. Now, back in 2019, there was a custody battle between Jeff Younger and his wife, who, by the way, is a pediatrician. That's important. You understand why in a minute. The battle was over their son, and at the time he was like 5 or 6 years old, like a little boy. Now, the father wanted custody because the mother, from the father's perspective, is trying to make the son become transgender, okay? Now, when the boy would be around the dad, he would play with trucks, and he would gravitate towards boy things, and he would answer to his birth name, his male name. But then when he would go to his mother, he put on dresses and play with the Barbie dolls and try to be more like a girl and go by his girl name. And the father, it was really heartbreaking. The father was saying he thinks the reason why the boy's doing that is because if he didn't do it, then his mom wouldn't love him. Terrible. And the father was saying that he didn't try to put any kind of, he didn't try to steer him in a certain direction while he was with him. He just let him be himself, which was a boy. You're 5, 6 years old. You're a boy. It is what it is. And it was a long battle, and I think he ultimately lost. There were a few victories there, but he ultimately lost. So he's running for office out there in Texas to change the law, because how are you going to have a little boy become transgender, putting them on puberty blockers and hormone blockers? And I said that on Jubilee when I was there 2 years ago, back in 2020, right when this pandemic first started. I was saying, hey, you know what? If you want to be an adult and call yourself transgender, knock yourself out. But I don't think we should put children on hormone blockers and puberty blockers because they think at 5 years old they're transgender. Okay. And if anybody will actually means on that, then I'm calling the federales. Well, are they going to answer the phone? I don't know. But anyway, so that's what the protest was about, because they wanted to call him anti-trans. But see, there's more. We're going to watch more video. First, we're going to look at a little bit of what you saw in the beginning, and then we're going to see more. There was a whole big protest, and what you saw right there in the classroom, that went on for an hour just in the classroom, and there was more outside the classroom. So let's look at some of this right here. You saw the first part where all the cussing and fussing and carrying on was going on. And it's like almost a whole class is involved with it. Almost a whole class. I'm not exactly sure the percentage. If you were to ask me right now to guess, at least 50%, 70% of the class. And by the way, this was a talk that the college Republicans put on. So this was a Republican event, but you could see it got infiltrated by these ridiculous wokesters on the left. So that's him right there, Jeff Younger. He's just trying to do his best to receive all of this is what they're giving him, right? So they're not liking his message too much, but he's trying to stop little kids from becoming trans. I don't see why that's controversial to say. Hey, you know what? I don't think a 5-year-old should be able to take drugs to become, quote unquote, a different gender, which is not really possible biologically. You're XX or XY. I mean, you can't change your chromosomes yet, as far as I know. So that process, as far as changing your chromosomes, is impossible. Let's go ahead and see some more here.
You're a pathetic loser. Every single person here is a pathetic loser that wants children to cut their penis off. Why do you think they have the right to tell?
Protect trans kids. Was I making it up? Did I lie to y'all? Here we are. This is Texas. So this is what I'm talking about when I say it's a red state, but is it going to stay red? Some may think that you're going to have, you get the whole, what they say, demographics is destiny. Well, what demographics are you talking about? Are you talking about race demographics? Are you talking about ideological demographics, you know, they could change Texas from within if you keep brainwashing these kids in K through 12 in college. Okay. This should not be going on, but here we are in the great state of Texas. So I'm just going to fast forward a little bit so you can see the sides of the crowd. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, and then the sign right here, I don't know if you can see it. I'll remove my camera for a moment. Let me see if I can. Go home deadbeat because he lost custody of his son. I mean, deadbeat, really? Because he doesn't want his little boy to, quote unquote, become a girl? You see all the trans signs, all that kind of stuff out there. This is crazy. This is totally crazy. And you know what? This is part of the reason why I say college is a scam. Because I'm not paying my good hard-earned money or getting into debt, which is the worst thing you could do at a place like this. I'm not going here, spending all that money, getting into debt possibly to be brainwashed or to be around these kind of people. Okay, I just don't want to do it. That's like me paying to go to the penitentiary. I'm going to avoid the penitentiary at all costs. Why would I pay money to go there? Sure, I can learn things there, but it's also very dangerous. Okay, I ain't trying to have no butt pirate come into Sally and try to, you know, take something that don't belong to him. You understand what I'm talking about? But I'll move on. So a whole protest over that. Okay. So it's nuts. And there's more footage. Shout out to Andy No for posting the footage. Well, reposting it. It wasn't his original footage. He just retweeted it. And I'll place all these links in the description box so you can see more for yourself. And here's more from the actual the in-class protest. And there should be a YouTube link for the full thing. I'll link to that as well.
I'm in a college and I use the word. I'm so sorry. Jennifer Bronte, who's a pediatrician in Florida.
You can't do that with my friends. No, you can go away. You can go away. Yes, thank you.
No, he can go anywhere he wants.
No, he cannot. No, it's my friends. I say, get out. Go away.
So you got the white liberal oppressing the minority right there because he's the wrong, you know, he has the wrong ideology, or because he's not necessarily defending her. But I thought it was all about inclusion and things of that nature. If that's the case, I can't tell. That's not very inclusive right there, what she's doing.
Arm's length. Everybody's in arm's length, please.
So there's more. I'm going to just skip ahead a little bit.
I got it, man. Sorry, man.
So what's happening here, if it's hard, like the sound's kind of difficult to hear. One person is playing with some kind of toy, like they about 5 years old themselves. You get a bunch of overgrown children. This is college. This is not middle school, high school. This is college. These are adults in here acting like children. Somebody playing with this squeeze like a dog toy, like they're an actual dog themselves. If they're identified as Fido or King or something like that, I wouldn't be surprised. And then you have the person over here with this ridiculous Streets of Rage double dragon hairstyle talking about my pronouns are he, him, they, them, whatever in the world's going on. And because he is not gendering her properly, whatever they go by, they, she, her, it are getting triggered. But the reason why they're getting triggered is because they want to be offended by something. They want to have a problem to be able to complain about. When there are no problems, you create problems. That's what happens in the mind of a drama queen or a king or drama, they, whatever it is.
You're a woman. Listen, you actually believe that if someone disagrees with something, you can stand up and spit on it. That's how miseducated you are.
So this is crazy. So he's getting screamed on by people that think they're a different gender. Clearly there's something wrong with him. I mean, you scream, you like you top of your lungs, screaming, hollering, carrying on. It's a whole big mess. And these kind of people are lawmakers. So Jeff Younger, his whole mind state is to run for office and to be lawmaker himself. So these people that are in this college won't become his rulers. They won't further what's happening right now in the legal system. Because this is a whole big, man, you're talking about family court. That is a whole different animal right there. Okay, man, if you guys got kids and you've gone through it, my heart's out to you. And I'm being dead serious. I don't have any kids myself, but I know guys that have gone through it. It's rough. It's totally rough. And imagine if you're in his shoes where your son is becoming transgender because of the mother who's a pediatrician, a whole doctor, a child doctor, and you can't do anything about it. You done gone on TV. You done tried to raise money. You done tried to get lawyers. You done all you can, and you're actually picking a career to try and get in there to change the law just for your son, and you're dealing with this kind of stuff right here. It's a whole big mess. But as I close, I want to say this. Local battles, when you're talking about politics, are the most important. You see, Joe Biden is not out there trying to change this man's son into a girl. It's this man's ex-wife. And it's the local courts that are, you know, kind of playing along with it. And people that are right there in that room, they're not going to be national people. They're not going to be federal politicians. They're not going to be in DC. They're going to be right there in Texas or in your city, your state, and they're going to be making the decisions. They're going to be making the rules that change your life. You know, when you see DC and you see all the weirdos right there, you're like, where did they come from? How did they get there? Well, look no further than your local college campus. That's where it matters the most. You know, people worried about Trump and stuff like that. You know, Trump obviously was very important, but there's more to this world. There's more to this country than just one particular job. You got thousands of jobs that matter. That's going to impact your life one way or the other, whether it be in a minor way or in a serious way like Mr. Jeffrey Younger. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here with Jeff Younger, trying to become a politician, trying to be a lawmaker to change the laws that have impacted his son, where the mother is able to just force him to be transgender or to manipulate him to being transgender at a young age of 5 or 6 years old? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about what's happening right now in Texas? Not necessarily with just the Californians coming in, but also K through 12 and college indoctrination. And that's happening all over the US of A. A lot of these ridiculous people in that room may also be teachers. Anytime I see a TikTok on Libs of TikTok's Twitter page, and there's some kind of ridiculous blue hair, drooling, hula hoop through the nose like it's a septum ring, whenever I see somebody like that, they're nine times out of 10 them teacher. So if you got these people teaching your children, what are they like? The influence upon your kids is going to be severe. That is a problem we got to face right now today that can be solved because they're out there doing it. They're not, these people, one thing about them as I close, one thing about them is that they're not relying upon the federales to do this quote unquote work for them. They're going out there, they're going to college, becoming teachers to brainwash your children. We have to counteract that by also being teachers and by not allowing our kids to be in that environment to be brainwashed by these ridiculous morons that you just saw on the screen before you. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.